So,
What's going on, man?
nothing much. Introduce yourself, let the people know who you are.
I'm Malik Wilson, correspondent, fill-in host for Show Me St. Louis.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's a big platform to be on, man.
It's huge. It's a blessing. Happy to be here.
So we're gonna start off from the beginning. What exactly got you to pursue the journalism field?
You want to know the whole thing or the watered down version?
I want to know the whole thing if you got time.
All right. So years ago, as a little kid, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. My mom would always, push me to, try sports. I played soccer, played piano. Of course, we all played the clarinet in school and stuff like that, but nothing ever really stuck. And so a big part of me was just always playing video games and kind of to myself, never really was with the friends and all that stuff, but she just kept pushing me. Fast forward to high school, still didn't know what the heck I wanted to do. Wasn't even thinking about college. College was like the last thing on my mind. But a lot of influences in my life, like my dad, I ran track in high school, so like my high school coaches, like they were all pushing me to play football. They were all like, you need to play football, you're fast, like that could be your ticket out. So I'm like scared of getting tackled, all that bull crap, like hate getting hurt, but I gave it a try. Again, long story short, ended up being good, got a full ride to North Carolina A&T State University, support the HBCUs out there, but yeah, got a full ride there and became All-American, but while I was there, before I went, my mom was like, you need to figure out what major you want to do, because, that time is coming to, apply and all that stuff. So I was like sports med, and sports in it, I'm playing football, it's got to match.
Right.
She was like, no, like she knew, you don't know what that's about to entail.
Right.
So she was like, you really need to dig deep. And so always as a kid, like I knew, I wouldn't say I was a loner, but I always enjoyed entertaining, even as a kid. Like when I was on the soccer field, like I enjoyed making people laugh. When I was playing piano, like I enjoyed making my teacher laugh. And so that entertaining piece of me was always in me.
Gotcha.
So she was like, you need to figure that out. And so we went to school for journalism and mass communications. And again, long story short, became an All-American in college, had my degree, but with the All-American title, and we won championships and stuff. Professional, the league came into play.
Okay.
So I got an agent. Ended up going the professional route, playing the Canadian Football League for a little bit. Ended up getting hurt. So all of a sudden, football was gone.
Yeah. They're like you was like first starting off, but like a few months in.
Right. So like it just went downhill quick. But I never cared about football, but it just carried me through life. I mean, it got me a degree. It got me to meet amazing people that I never would have met without college. So when that time came, it was like I went back home, and I was home for a couple months, and I was like, it's time to use my degree. It's time to pursue what it is that I had deep inside of me, which was to entertain, be in front of crowds, be on TV, and just be a spotlight in a different way outside of the field. So I started to apply to different news stations. Didn't know what the heck I was doing. I kind of like finessed my way in. Picked up a job, my first news reporting job in North Dakota.
Okay.
And got into all that, and now a year and some change later, I'm here.
And at first was at KX?
KX News, yep. Yep.
I seen like, I think it was like maybe an article or something you were speaking on, like as far as like coverage of news. I think you started like at the beginning of the COVID, pre-pandemic.
Yeah. So I first got to North Dakota in 2019. I was just getting my feet wet in the news industry, making a ton of mess up, screw ups. But then 2020 came. I think I got to North Dakota in August or September of 2019, and just a few months later, the pandemic came. Knocked us all out. I got sent home, and that's honestly where I figured out that I didn't want to do hard news. I wanted to get into more entertainment, more feature-y stuff, doing stuff like this.
Gotcha.
Usually on the other side of the camera, but yeah, I mean, that's the whole story in itself.
So, what you saying, like you didn't want to cover hard news, like I guess more so like the negative news. You want to be more positive with the coverage that you do. How you got the gig at KSDK? Did you share like a highlight of all the positive news coverage you did at KX?
Yeah.
And they kind of like reached out to you from there.
Right. That's essentially what happened. So for those who are in like the media industry, even if you're in front of the camera, you have to prove that you can be in front of the camera for whatever genre. Like if you're wanting to be in a movie, you have to make, an acting reel. If you want to be a news reporter, you have to have like a breaking news reel, like showing that you can. So I made an entertainment reel, which showed me like interviewing, celebrities, doing like positive things in North Dakota, like jumping in 60 feet of water and freezing water with the fire department, just little stuff like that, and threw it together, and lo and behold, my producer here found me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And
it seemed like just watching you do the show, and like you said, going out to different events, different restaurants, seeing what the other day you was at like a skating rink.
Oh, God.
I see you, he's a guy. But no, I seen you do those type of coverage. Like you have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
They saying you and your co-host, you had good chemistry.
Yeah, Dana, and kind of fast forward, reversing back a little bit when I said my producer found me. It was really Dana who found me, and then my producer reached out and was like, she just kind of matched and was like, "We love you.
Yeah.
Would you like to come?" And when I got here, we hit the ground running, and it's like a perfect duo,
Yeah, just seeing how you guys mesh together is perfect. It's
right.
Good energy.
Heck yeah.
Makes a hell of a show. It's already an iconic show here in St. Louis.
Right.
So, yeah.
26 years in the making.
Heck yeah. Now, as far as like the degree in journalism and mass communication, do you feel like that was required, or do you take any skills from that really apply to your? I'm sure you did. I'm just asking. Do you take any skills from that process of getting that degree that you use today?
Yeah. I don't want to say what I really want to say, but I'll say it. I feel like school can be a scam in a sense, especially if you don't know what you want to do. Like for me, I just lucked up because I had a full ride, But for those who don't want to go, I feel like we live in a world now where you can create your own platform and do what you want to do. And so for this field, I think there's things that help as far as learning how to write better, learning how to white balance a camera, learning how to. But it's those little things you can learn on your own. You don't need a $100,000 degree just to show you how to do something that's it's a creative mind. Like you can do a million interviews and see the color difference in each of them. You're like, okay, what did I do that time to make that crisp? Made it look good. Or what did I write this time that won me an Emmy?
Yeah.
So you just learn that stuff over time. And so a lot of the stuff that I've learned came more so like from YouTube University or just trial and error. Meeting people like Dana, meeting people like the team here. They showed me St. Louis, KSDK. Like you just learn as you're doing it. But the degree gives you it gives you an upper hand because it's like a validation. It's like the verified blue check on social media. Like, oh, you have a degree, you're good.
Yeah.
When in reality, I don't.
It's more, you said it's more skill.
Right.
The degree is more so the knowledge. They give you a heads up as far as the knowledge.
Exactly.
You still got to apply that skill to it. You can have a degree but not know what you're doing still.
Exactly. I feel like college is.
I don't have a technique, should I say?
Right. I feel like college for this field is more so networking. There's people that I still talk to this day, just from being on campus, But $100,000 worth, and some schools are more, way more than that.
Yeah, me myself, I don't have a degree. I just kind of picked up the camera, and I actually been into it since I was a kid. But just picked up the camera and kind of learned as I go. I watch, like you said, I look back at a lot of my interviews, like how could I respond better? How could I, make my voice more fluent or more louder, project it more louder?
It's little stuff as as a creative, you know. And I mean, of course, if you're a doctor, like you need to go to school.
Yeah,
but
you can't learn as you go in there.
Right, right. To me, you can't learn to be a creative. It's either in you or it's not. You can become a better creator, but you can't go to school and be like, you can't not have a creative mind and be like, oh, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna get a creative mind. Like you gotta already have it.
Yeah, like I'm trying to learn, like you said, like as far as the color grading and all that. I'm starting to experiment with that now.
And for you, it's better. I mean, you don't have a contract behind your name.
Right.
Like I'm locked in. Like you feel me? So if I screw up, then it's like, all right, there's one strike. All right, there's two strikes. You know, you're already building your own solo platform. So that's kudos, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
Something you said earlier about as far you hesitated to kind of speak about as far as the degree. When you're doing news coverage, are you limited to what you cover, what you ran on the KSDK?
This is something I want to clear up too. So, like, because a lot of people still call me like weatherman and news anchor and, you know, stuff like that, like terms that relate more so to general Islamic news. So in North Dakota, yes, it was like if I wanted to turn around and do an interview on you, like a feature story, I couldn't do that because the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock news doesn't care about that type of stuff. Like they want to see our gas prices changing, who's in political power this week, who's how many people died from COVID. Like that's, I mean, crime and stuff like that. Like so, that's where that was. But on the flip side, yeah, with Show Me St. Louis, we're a news entity, but it's different. And so I wouldn't pitch a COVID story. I wouldn't pitch a political. Well, I mean, I guess I could if it was like, you know, a person who had COVID for 6 weeks comes out of it in the end and, you know, survives. It's like positive.
Positive stuff. That's why I get from the Show Me St. Louis.
So I guess in a sense, kind of, it's more of a genre, I guess. It just depends. But I'm not a news anchor. I'm not a weatherman.
MSJ?
I'm an MSJ. You can say that. So just to clear that up, sequels.
But no, I was asking, like, as far as like the Show Me St. Louis, it kind of reminds me. I don't know if you guys kind of like each network kind of colludes with each other, but Fox 2, what's the game? I think his name Tim.
Yep, Tim Izell.
It kind of reminds me of the same thing he does.
Yeah.
Kind of go to the various restaurants and, you know, basically bring highlights to these different locations.
Right. And I actually want to meet him.
I do too.
I hear a lot about him. It's funny. I don't know if he's watching this or not. But just really quick. So when I first got here, I went and did a live interview. Can't remember where the heck I was, but when I got there, one of the security guards was like, "Oh, Tim was already here," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Our viewers aren't up at 5 a.m." And I'm like, "I don't know who else is up at 5 a.m.
Right.
You know, watching TV that early." And he just kind of laughed. It was a funny moment, but I'm like, people try to make competition out of it.
Yeah. It's different platforms.
Right. I'm like, I respect him. Like, I admire his work and everything. So people just try to make a bigger thing than what it is.
So go back to the MSJ. Do you do your own like setup for it, and also your editing and things like that? I kind of spoke about that with Pepper.
Yeah. So with our show Me St. Louis, it's both paid and free content. So the paid stuff essentially keeps the lights on. It's basically advertisement. So if you had, you know, $1,000 monthly that you wanted to spend, we would promote your stuff, you know, whenever you want it. But so that stuff is like, and we have a whole team of people who come together and get that stuff booked. So sometimes I'll have that on my calendar to where I'll have to do a live interview or a pre-recorded interview with someone who's paid. And that's out of my control. But the stuff that I can choose is the free stuff. And so if I wanted to do an interview with Mark Zuckerberg or something, because he's in town, like I can do that without any. And that's what I love about this team, because it gives you the freedom to do what you want to do. Like they trust that it's going to be a good product.
Okay. Let's say you do choose to do an interview with Mark. Once you present it, do you have to get it approved by the station, or you just say
No, and that's the difference between Show Me St. Louis and KSDK 5. Like, because if Mark Zuckerberg came to town, of course, I mean, that would definitely be approved in the news side. But say Cheney's back in town, or Nelly's back in town. For us, we could do something with it, to talk about, why are you here? But on the news, it's like, oh, he's back all the time. Like, I don't care, So you have to really fight harder to get it approved with the news side.
Okay. How, with you covering all these different events, public figures, which one stood out to you the most?
I get that question a lot. Man, I do so much stuff every day, man. It's like, it's almost like the last thing is the best thing,
Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah.
It's been so much stuff, dude. It's been a lot, but I guess the last thing would just be the ice skating.
Yeah, that was hilarious, man.
Insert clips here. But nah, that was. People keep telling me, they're like, "Oh, you did that on purpose." I'm like, "Nah, that was real."
Yeah,
that was real.
So I wish I would have did it.
Man, I'm like, goodness. Yeah. But yeah, that was real. But nah, it's little stuff like that. Just like every day, I get to have fun and show my personality, and it's almost like a dream job. So
you got a passion for it. Hey.
Heck yeah.
Outside of the news, who are you?
Creative. I want to have like the entrepreneur name behind my name. I got some stuff in the works, but I don't know. Funny, outgoing. I feel like everything people see on TV is like the real me. Funny, outgoing, personable. Like it's never really an off switch.
What do you have on your playlist, like as far as musicians? Or song? What is your favorite song right now?
So I just bought a guitar, and I've been listening to a lot, like more music with like electric guitars in the background and stuff. Just trying to get a sound of how things, should sound and things maybe I want to one day play. But I'm all over the place. I can listen to. I don't really listen to rock, but I can listen to country music.
Okay.
All the way to
like Luke Bryan.
Right, all the way to hip hop.
Okay.
And everything in between. I can.
Do you have a favorite TV show or something that you're watching right now?
Yeah, so I watch The Morning Show on Apple TV. Stranger Things.
Oh, did they release a new season?
I think it's 2022, summer of 2020. I think.
You still watching the first season?
I've seen both. The first 1 and 2.
Okay.
Waiting on season 3, I think it is.
Yeah.
So The Morning Show, Stranger Things, a couple more that I can't think of. But yeah, I don't really watch a lot of TV.
Same.
It's like more so on YouTube.
Like you said it's the second season. I'm like, oh, I'm really bad.
Right. I'm more like a YouTube guy. Like I watch interviews like this with other people. And like I like this platform that you have.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Keeps me entertained when I'm eating.
And kind of help you sharpen up on your skills also.
Right. Take notes,
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Coming to a closing here, do you have any last words you'd like to share?
No, man, I appreciate this opportunity. We definitely have to keep doing this. I like this. I like this platform that you're doing. I've seen, your other interviews. It definitely does give. And I don't want to throw names out there because I want to, stay focused on what you're doing. But other people, it gives me that same professional vibe. So it's an honor to be here.
Appreciate your time. Last thing, shout out to social media, let people know where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, it's on Instagram. It's Malik Wilson TV. Twitter is Malik Wilson _, and Facebook is Malik Allen Wilson.